Hi guys, Black here. Hey, I got a little update on something. I uploaded a video showing where I installed Detroit axle rotors, not the brake pads, the rotors on the front of my Golf. And I haven't had any problems with the front rotors. I installed the rear rotors on the back of my Golf, and the right one is fine. I'm not having any problem, but the one I put on the left side is slightly out of round. No, it's not warped. It's slightly out of round. How do I know this? After installing the rotor, I drove the car and I noticed it sounded like something was scraping. And I thought I might have bent the dust shield a little bit, but yesterday I jacked the tire up and rotated it, and the dust shield is fine. The problem is the rotor is slightly warped. You know this because when you turn it, it's turned easy, and then it comes to a spot that's hard to turn. And at the same time, it makes this, you see the pad is scraping against the rotor. And you turn it, it stops making a noise, it's easy to turn, and then it comes back to that same spot. When you hit the pad, it scrapes up against the pad. So the left rear rotor is out of round. Am I going to try to warranty it? No, because I had those rotors for quite some time before I actually put them on. And so I'm not going to. Am I going to order more discount? Detroit axle rotors? Probably will, because I haven't really had a problem with the front. Probably will. Because that, and like I said, I want to see how long, I don't really think there's a such thing as a cheap rotor. Now, there is such thing as rotors being out of round, because I remember I used to work for Main Auto Parts, and we used to sell these real cheap rotors. We called them white box rotors. I don't remember the name of the company, but they came in plain white box. And I remember some of the customers said that they would use them, but you had to resurface them brand new out the box because sometimes it wasn't completely round. So I'm guessing that's what's wrong with the Detroit axle rotor. I'm gonna need to put some rear brake pads on my F-150 in about another maybe 30,000 miles, if not sooner. I'm thinking about trying Detroit axle rotors on the back of it. Thinking about it. But just thought I'd make a little video oh, by the way, after changing the transmission fluid in the manual transmission, it's something I need to add. The video I made where the car, where I said transmission making a lot of noise, it is making a lot of noise, but what I did was I had one tire jacked up off the ground, the other tire wasn't. So we call them spider gears was rotating. And that's one of the reasons why they were making so much noise, is because the spider gears. Also, the fluid was old. It did. I'm assuming it had water, and it may have not been, but I've never seen that color of oil unless it had water in it. But anyway, I put the new fluid in there. I haven't jacked it up to spin one tire after doing that. Maybe I should do that. Make a video, see if it make a sound. It probably will. But, I was thinking, I didn't see any chunks of metal in the fluid because I cleaned the pan out. It was some sludge, but I think it wasn't in the chunks of metal at all. I just thought about that. It was just some stinky gear oil. I just wish like hell I changed it a year ago when I first got. Why didn't I change it? Because first of all, I've never really owned them. I've had manual cars, but I've never changed the oil in the manual, except for this Ford Explorer I had, a 92 transmission, and it was making a lot of noise. And I normally don't change manual transmission fluid because, I never really tear up one. You know, I had my Ford Mustang, I put like 180 some thousand miles in it. And I don't think I ever changed the oil in it. I don't think in the transmission. I don't think I did. If I know I didn't. I mean, maybe I did have a clutch. I had a couple of clutches put in the car because that Ford Mustang, it wasn't wearing out clutches. They would get stiff. After using them for a while, they would get stiff. They would get so stiff, they would break the clutch cable. Speaking of the Mustang, I don't know, very few people know this, but the 89 four-cylinder Mustang, I don't know about the 5-speed, it had two clutch cables. It had a main clutch cable that ran from the pedal down to the transmission. And then it had a mechanism that changed directions. And then it had a small clutch cable about this long. It looked like a little dumbbell. It was like a piece of cable with two balls on each end of it. That cable would break. The main cable never broke. But when the clutch in the car would get stiff, it would get, hard. It was hard to press, and it would start breaking on clutch cable. And one day the guy told me you have to put a new clutch in it. And I put a new clutch in, and it was real easy. It felt like a little Honda Accord for so many miles, and then it would get stiff. And when it started breaking that clutch cable, you had to put another clutch in it. So I put about 3 clutches in that Mustang. One of the clutches I had to put in because the throwout bearing started making a bunch of noise. So I just went ahead and changed the clutch then. But I never changed transmission fluid in. If one of the shop, I don't think the shop did ever change. And like I said, I put probably about 100 and I probably put 180,000 miles on that Mustang. If I didn't put 180, I put at least 100, at least 100,000 miles on it. But anyway, that's all I got to say on it. I still got to I bought a bearing to put on the left side, but after jacking the car up, hearing it turn, I don't think it needs a bearing. Even though I put one on the right side. Usually when you put a bearing on one side, you need to put one on the other side, but this one is not making much noise. So I'm thinking about taking that bearing back today and get my little $38. And I guess go ahead and buy some damn struts to put on the front, because that's really all the suspension stuff needed, you know. Yeah, I guess that's it. So I guess I'll go ahead and put some struts on it now and maybe it ride a lot better. But if you have any questions, comments, leave them. This is Dre. Y'all have a good day. Bye. Oh, by the way, Merry Christmas. Today is Christmas Eve. I'm not a religious person, but some people it means a big deal to them. So Merry Christmas to people who do. And if it don't, and you're like me, y'all have a good day. Bye.